Hey guys, I'm Mackenzie, Tumblr URL of Dandelions and Burdock, and I decided to make a video about my views on legalizing marijuana because I recently had this discussion with a friend of mine who is against it, and I have a terrible habit of coming up with my argument after I actually discuss it with someone. So now I have a good argument, not necessarily argument, but a way to explain it better. Not necessarily in the diehard libertarian way of like it's our right, which I do think so, but I mean in the sense of trying to get people to see my viewpoint and maybe even change some minds. It's kind of what I'm going to focus on. Um, for one, I think that it's important to focus on this as a moral issue because most people who oppose it, that's what it's for. It's not necessarily for the other end of it, which is drug cartels, drug wars, because I think that that's more a reason to be for legalization. Most people are against it. Typically, it's because of a moral issue. And this is actually an interesting discussion I had with my friend because she is actually a Democrat in most ways, but she thinks that marijuana should stay illegal. So it wasn't so much, like part of her religion. It was like just a moral belief that she had. Her argument was that, okay, yes, people still do smoke marijuana even though it's illegal, but is legalizing it really the best answer? Because you're just kind of saying, oh, it's okay to do this. Like, isn't it better just keep it illegal just to make it seem like it's bad for you, which it is? And I understand that. I think I see where she's coming from. It makes sense. I don't agree, but, it makes sense to me. My response to that is basically, sorry, totally lost where I was going. My response to that is, yes, okay, keeping it illegal would make it seem like, oh, it's a bad thing and it's illegal. But, there's still plenty of people out there who do it, despite the fact it's illegal. And if there is a better way to keep people, like make a small amount of people do it, make people realize that it is bad for you, realize the consequences, I think that's the way to go, because keeping it illegal, yes, it means that people think it's bad for them, but it doesn't keep people from doing it, let's be honest. There has to be a better way, and I think that there is. I think that that would be to educate people, to, like, maybe in school or something, educate people on, the negative effects of marijuana, how it makes you, unmotivated, how even though you can't become, like, addicted, you can still kind of, like, crave it, become dependent on it for, like, having a good time, and, like, how it can lead to, driving while under an influence, that can lead to, car accidents, how it's a gateway drug, stuff like that. Let people know about this in a way that will have like turn off a lot of kids from it and be like, that sounds bad, I don't think I want to do that. So that's gonna automatically have a good amount of people who probably would have experimented with it not do it. And then, okay, so yeah, there are going to be people who still are like, oh, I'm gonna smoke. That's just bound to happen. For that, I'd say rather than keeping it illegal, know that this is going to happen and bring the education further after you've explained everything that can go wrong if you do it. But there's still going to be some of you who do, so you might as well educate them on doing it safely. Like, I like to use the kind of metaphor. I used to use the metaphor of like Mayor Bloomberg and his like kind of like nanny laws of like um, outlawing like huge sodas and stuff for like how it's the government telling you what you should and shouldn't do if it's unhealthy. But I've actually come up with a better metaphor. I think that's birth control, because I feel like there's a lot of similarities in this. Because okay, we know that just being like abstinence only doesn't work, because kids are still gonna have sex, just like being like drugs are bad and making it illegal doesn't work because tons of people still do drugs. So, and the argument that people make that are pro birth control, pro like anti abstinence only teaching, is educate kids, let them know the consequences of unprotected sex, and don't encourage it, don't encourage having sex, but like provide contraception, teach them how to do it safely. I feel like that's kind of what you can do for marijuana too. Show them all of the bad things that can happen, but then be like, if you guys still are going to do this, might as well educate them on things like, having a designated driver, or like, I don't know what to do in case of like an emergency if something goes wrong. I don't know. I don't really know like what the best education for that would be, but I'm sure that it's out there somewhere to prevent, car accidents because of this, or, this or that. Just because I think, yes, keeping it illegal might make it seem like it's worse, but it's not stopping people from doing it. Let's be honest. If you yourself believe that it's a stupid law and that it's not bad for you and that you want to do it because you enjoy it, people are going to do it. It doesn't matter if they're, criminals or not. I know tons of people who smoke. They're not terrible people. They, study hard and get good grades. So, having people who are good people breaking the law, I feel like that makes it kind of a stupid law. I feel like there are better ways to make it safer and to protect citizens better than just being like, let's just keep it illegal and do nothing else. Because, okay, this is where I feel like the biggest role of not only just this argument, but kind of political parties in general comes into play of, I think most people who agree with government agree that it's the government's job to protect their citizens. And me as libertarian, I believe that means enforcing the Constitution, which is basically protecting them from a tyrannical government. That's what it should be, which is basically government protecting citizens from the government, which doesn't make much sense, it sounds confusing, but honestly, that's how it should be, in my opinion. And then the argument that my friend made was that government should protect its citizens and that it should keep them from doing dangerous things. Okay, I understand that, and that's where her argument comes from, of we need to protect them in this way. But I just think that that's not really the best form of protection when there are tons of people still going out, getting hurt, getting dependent on drugs. I mean, this is a huge number of people, let alone people who aren't going that far. They're just experimenting and doing it on occasion. For like arresting people for this and, basically just, I don't know, really endangering their lives in a lot of ways and hurting them, I feel like that's not really protecting citizens. You have to find a different way to do it rather than just keeping it illegal and doing nothing else. Because clearly that's not working. So, yeah, that's kind of, unless I'm forgetting anything, that's kind of all I had to say. And let me know if this was good. I really like to speak about politics rather than just writing it. So let me know if you like this video and I can maybe post more in the future. Just, yeah, because I prefer to speak. So, yeah, let me know. Alright, thanks for watching.